What screams I'm a man-child, but most people don't realize it. My experience with man-children is that they always have big plans in the works. They are always just sorta almost but not quite on the verge of committing to something big and important that's totally going to turn their life around. They just haven't, actually started working on it yet. Nor will they ever. I think a fundamental characteristic of the man-child is a complete inability to transform intention into meaningful action. They expect to be praised for their aspirations alone rather than any actual accomplishment. The theme here is most people don't realize it, which should preclude things like truck nuts and never admits when he's wrong. Those are obvious signs, not clandestine signs. I would rather suggest a sign of man-childing that most people wouldn't realize at first would be thinking that throwing someone in prison will solve the problem. If you think that putting an adult in timeout will make them become a better person, then you have a childish attitude toward criminal reform. Those people who always have to one-up you. Like you're talking about your car and they're like, oh yeah, I got a more powerful one at home, or my buddy has a Lambo. I worked with a dude like this. Always had a story. His GF supposedly had a fully built Evox and was sponsored by all these brands. She surprised him one day at work. She drove a base model Lancer. If you live in an apartment building, you may go weeks without bringing out your rubbish, even during extremely hot weather, and your trash will smell so terrible that entering the building will be like stepping into the face of a decaying corpse. Yes, this is me speaking to you, man-child and 33. Currently moving out of the apartment I share with my boyfriend because he is jealous of my dog, the one I had for years before we started dating. It started off with little things and has escalated to the dog needing to be in a cage 24/7 where I get the silent treatment. Good riddance, fucker. If you've gotten into more than one actual physical fight in your life, you get one freebie, because sometimes assholes are just looking for a fight and you happen to be the nearest person. But as a general rule, not getting into a fight is one of the easiest things in the world. Believes they're above cleaning and associates such as a chore for women. Uses the term snowflake seriously. Has the inability to grow or believes they've made a mistake. Speaks over others before allowing them to complete their thought. Anybody who thinks random behaviors being manly versus unmanly is important. I can't wear a pink shirt or enjoy ballet or sewing. I'm a real man. I'm gonna eat bacon in the woods is shit that healthy people grow out of age 10 or so. I was shocked when I learned there's a lot of men who don't know how to do extremely basic stuff around the house, like changing bed sheets or buying your own clothes. I don't even know how those folks get by in their day-to-day. Me. I love fart jokes, I play video games constantly, have terrible emotional regulation. But I'm making good money, have kids, and pay my bills. Looking at me you wouldn't know what an immature asshole I am. Ha 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 ha. Getting really upset by the existence of vegetarians and vegans. Also just refusing to eat vegetables. Priding oneself on eating steak all the time. Lots of food-related points here. I might just be hungry. They have extremely strict morals and principles when citing them will get them out of doing something. They will drop all morals and principles when ignoring them will get them out of doing something. He breaks stuff and punched holes in walls over things, doesn't even matter how big or small the trigger. Immediate signal he's a man-child and incapable of regulating himself and his emotions. Talking about money. I own this watch that was XYZ. Do you know how much the new Apple is worth? I got these shades for XYZ. Cool story, Steve. Why'd you say your wife left you again? Not learning how to perform basic domestic tasks like laundry, dishes, etc. If they make an active decision not to learn those things, it just tells me they want a mommy and not a partner. Expensive food with gold shavings. What's that about? Do you eat it to feel rich and powerful or something? I'm sure gold doesn't taste very good and is not normally supposed to be eaten. Gaming chairs. Adults use inexpensive office chairs because they're actually good for your posture, last a long time, and don't look like children's race car beds. Name calling. Replace the cuss words with children's language and you realize how childish it is. You are a shit. You're a duty head. You see, a 4x4 pickup truck that doesn't have a single speck of rust or dirt on it, and never will see anything other than the most clean and pristine pavement. Everybody but the man-child in question will notice this. Never owning up to your mistakes, and constantly blaming someone something else for them. Any effort to broadcast your masculinity tbh. Quiet confidence is always going to come across as more mature than showboating your insecurities. Truck nuts. Although I feel like those have been claimed by the people who out them on their truck ironically, so perhaps everybody does know. Trying to present as intimidating. Shaved head, goatee, black clothes, skull stuff, Big truck. You're a scared child. You're a blowfish. My life is perfectly healthy because lists literally half the list that is warning signs for impending suicide, but you're a BB ad. Older men who basically are asses their whole life, and when a single person stands up to them, they go into a self-victim mode, purposefully making your vehicle louder than it needs to be because you think annoying people with your noise makes you cool. Prioritizing gaming over your real life or wife, spouse and children. As a hobby, sure. But it's sad if it's your whole life, having to be told to do basic house stuff. Come on son, you live here, do you think the fairies are going to do it for you? Driving around with music blasting and the bass pounding, especially in a residential area. Immature and inconsiderate when you're 40 years old and put on the douche act trying to look cool when you encounter a group of 20-year-old males, thinking emotions are just for women. Or doesn't do certain things because a real man doesn't do those things. You say no to them and they keep pushing. Adults should be able to gracefully handle not getting their own way. Football fans don't me edit I meant British football fans, are quite like the American football fans, thumbs up. Their explosive emotions are valid even when exaggerated, but yours are never, and you're just dramatic. They talk at people without a listening or sense of empathy and get quick to anger when called out. They refer to us women girls as femaless as if we're a completely different species from them. Driving around with plastic or metal bull testicles swinging from their truck's trailer hitch. Being shocked and surprised at what women deal with from men on the internet and dating apps. Cars that look like Hot Wheels. Especially when they drive around with painfully loud music. Can't help but interrupt any story that isn't being told by them or isn't about them. Why can't people take a joke anymore? Just said the worst thing you've ever heard, when he refers to watching his own kids as babysitting or acts like it's a favor. Going out of your way to be a burden to anyone you don't like or think are weird. Vaping. Can't take a grown man serious with those plastic bubblegum smokers. Karma farming aimless reposts with colorful, emotionally triggering phrasing. My bachelor pad with magic cards and swords on the walls in the living room. When the dude never gets anything done, it always has an excuse as to why. You get jealous and angry when other people have toys that you don't have. Strangely not men playing with children's toys. Or at least, I hope so. Burning Barbie dolls and filming it because a movie hurts your feelings. Sponging off your parents while spending all your money on video games. Big oversized trucks that spend most of their existence in a driveway. I see that many people don't know what manchild actually means. Losing their temper and always saying someone made them do it. Marvel fans and any grown man that plays with or collects toys. 3 children stacked on top of each other, in a trench coat. If you can't apologize even if both parties are in the wrong. Not saying sorry like are you that childish who don't say sorry. Driving a lifted pickup. Bonus loser points for wheel lights. Calling people names when they refuse to go out on a date. People constantly crying about reposts on the site. Lol. Feeling the need to outman the other men you're around. Their mommy comes in and does their laundry every week. Punisher stickers on the back window of his Ram pickup. When you don't get what you want so you blame racism. Starting fistfights when you're an elected senator.